Xu Xiaodong was a Chinese resident living in China, grew up in China. I believe he's approximately early 40s right now, as far as his age is concerned. Who is he? He was an MMA fighter, mixed martial arts fighter. In fact, he is given credit for introducing mixed martial arts to China back in the 90s, I believe it was. He caused a lot of controversy. Reason being, he felt and believed that most, if not all, of the Chinese masters from the traditional arts of Kung Fu and so forth in China, they were fake. And he wanted to disprove their arts and prove to them that mixed martial arts was legitimate as a fighting art or system or style versus their fake Kung Fu. Long story short, he just basically wanted to say, what I'm doing is real fighting, and what you're doing is ornamental only. It's a bunch of crap. That was his take. Now, he accepted many challenges, and he challenged many other traditional martial artists in China, and he failed all of them. He obliterated many of them, and one of the fights that he had was against an alleged Wing Chun master, and he thoroughly defeated this master. So, my question to you, just because he defeated all of these masters of Kung Fu or Chinese martial arts, does it mean that the masters that he fought against were not legitimate martial arts masters? My first thought would be maybe not all of them, maybe some of them were. When I really think about it, and it didn't take very long to think about it, and I was going to save this part for another video. Before I get to that, I want to say this. He made the Chinese government upset with him. Xu Xiaodong did, that is, because they felt as though he was putting China out as being a fraudulent cultural system as it related to martial arts. And they wanted to prove the world wrong if they thought this, and they wanted to prove Xu Xiaodong wrong as well. So they actually recruited Kung Fu as experts, as it were, to fight against Xiao, and they all lost. So, now, are Kung Fu systems in China legitimate? I'll say this to you, and I want you to use common sense. There are legitimate Kung Fu systems and styles in China. Have always been. But every time you have something legitimate, something original, you're going to have someone come behind, copycat it, and they're going to mimic it. They're going to come back with a system or a style. They're going to name it or say that they're part of another major system that has been in existence forever, and they have no true credentials. There's going to be a fake or a copy, is what I'm getting at. That's the same with anything. Everything that you have that is legitimate, I say this all of the time, there's going to be a fake. Gucci bags that are legitimate, there's going to be a fake Gucci or knockoff, some call them. Same thing is true with popular jeans. There's going to be fake models of that as well. There's fake everything, virtually. Martial arts is no different. You're always going to find someone that is trying to capitalize on something that's already been tried and true, proven to be legitimate, in other words. So these kung fu masters, or so-called kung fu masters, that Xu Xiaodong encountered, in my viewpoint, my honest viewpoint, were not real masters. First of all, real or true masters love their arts, and to them it is truly sacred. They're not going to exploit it as a public display or a worldly stage just to prove a point. That's not how martial arts masters work. Not true masters. They would never accept such a challenge. Now, while I just made that statement, please don't get it twisted. For those who are going to say Bruce Lee accepted challenges, he's never done that. I had to throw this little footnote in there. He's never accepted challenges. What he did, which seems to have been accepting a challenge, is simply this: when people challenged him, he said, would you like to spar? Would you like to work out? Come to my school, my gym, or let's meet here. He didn't accept challenges to try to prove that he was better than someone else. Yes, I know the Wong Jackman story and so forth. Bruce Lee's ego wasn't that big, and he did have a big ego, and he did have that contest with Wong Jackman. But there are some that say every time someone challenged Bruce Lee, he was always accepting the challenges, or he would challenge someone else. That's not true. So, getting back to my original point, real masters don't go around knocking on doors saying, I'm going to challenge you. For what? If that master challenges someone to a fight, they're not a master at all. That's their ego and their pride that's speaking. And it should never be about your ego. I mean, what do we teach martial arts to our students for? What's the purpose? To be humble, but to be ready, to be prepared in the case or event that we have to use our guarded secrets. It's about life. The greatest master is the one who has mastered the art of fighting without fighting, as Bruce Lee stated in Enter the Dragon in one of his lines. Why would I want to fight you if I know what my skill is and I have the ability to maim you, cripple you, or even kill you? What's the purpose? Serves no purpose, no practical purpose. Only when it is needed. So when these Kung Fu masters, or alleged Kung Fu masters, accepted the challenge of Xiaodong, they more than likely were not real masters. They may have had some skill, but real masters would not accept the challenge at all, in my honest viewpoint. And I've only been doing this 50 years. So, does that discredit China as having legitimate traditional martial arts schools and systems? Not at all. It has plenty. But as many or as much as it has plenty of legitimate Kung Fu systems and styles, it also has probably even more fake ones. That was it, and that was all. This is Brother Teacher. I'm out.